Hey everyone, Aussie VIking here to do another video. So I recently bought the Justice League 4K edition, Blu-ray edition for like $37. It's interesting because this comes with the 4K Ultra HD version of it and the Blu-ray version. And I bought it in JB Hi-Fi in Australia, and the Blu-ray version was $30 and this was $37. 3D version was $35. So for like an extra $5 to $2, if you whatever one you get the 4K version and the Blu-ray version. So I was like, okay, why not? And it's great because this is my first ever 4K I've ever bought. I'll probably get the Last Jedi next, the next 4K, and it's pretty damn, it's beautiful, beautiful, absolutely beautiful. It does suck that this isn't a like extended version because, well, so first up I want to say this: I love DC. Okay, I love DC. I love Marvel. Okay, I love the Marvel films. I love the DC films. I think the DC Phase 1 is better than Phase 1 of Marvel because people seem to go. People are very strange with this. So hang on, I just need to angle that down a bit. Yeah, cool. So, Marvel Phase 1 wasn't really good. I mean, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't as good as a lot of people think. Like, Incredible Hulk, meh. Captain America, meh. Iron Man 2. No, actually, no, I liked Iron Man 2. Iron Man 1 and 2 are great, and I like Thor. Although, obviously, it differs, but, I mean, I like those three more so. Justice League was amazing. I mean, not Justice League. Avengers was amazing. I thought that was the best one out of Phase 1. Just like I think Justice League is the best, more or less, out of Phase 1 as well. So Phase 1 DC, I think, is better than Phase 1 Marvel. I feel like Man of Steel was great. Batman v Superman Ultimate Cut. If you're going to watch Batman v Superman, watch the Ultimate Cut. It's fucking amazing. Fantastic. One of my favourite hero films ever, really. Suicide Squad was okay. It was flawed. It's the worst of the DC Phase 1 and probably one of the worst DC films ever, but it's not bad. And then you've got Wonder Woman, which was fantastic as well, and then Justice League. So, yeah, that's it. And I love Justice League. So watching it a second time, a lot of the problems that I had with it are gone. I understand more what they say. So, like, spoilers, at the end of the film, when it's all, like, beautiful and stuff, I was like, when I first saw it, and there's all, like, all the decay is now grown into, like, a forest and stuff like that, I was like, what the hell is going on here? How'd that happen? And then when I watched it again, they mentioned that the mother boxes are life and death. So at the end of it, I was like, oh, okay. So the idea is basically they stopped it. They stopped the death side of things, and now the death has turned into life because that's part of the mother box. And I thought, okay, so that makes sense. A second viewing really, really pieces a lot of things together and makes you go, holy shit, how did I not see that? It's pretty damn good. The only problems I have is it's about 4. I've got 4 problems with this entire movie, mainly due with a single character. Now, I'm okay with that because I feel like if we get a Snyder cut, he'll fix all of that. But I'm sure some fans of this character will hate it, and that was Batman. Batman in this, at times, is very strange. So, first up, it's good that this whole film didn't have much comedy. It has comedy, but it makes sense for the characters. You know, the comedy's mainly Barry Allen and Cyborg, which makes sense because they were like the comedic characters. They've always been comedic characters in the comics and stuff like that, which I thought was great. But there's also Batman, which I thought was very strange. So Batman, he can smile and make a joke every now and then, but here it felt very Marvel-ish, which makes sense because Joss Whedon came in and reshot these ones. So now the Bruce Wayne stuff was pretty cool. His joke was, so I hear you can talk to fish, which I don't remember if it was actually in the movie. That's fantastic. That's Bruce Wayne. But in Batman, it's just, there's a bit where he's like, when Superman grabs him and throws him away, he's like, oh, something's definitely bleeding. That's not really Batman. You really should have just had it where he's just like in pain. Really, you should have just had it where he's in pain, and that's it. You didn't need the whole, oh, something's definitely bleeding, because he did it in a way that didn't feel right. And then there's the whole Clark near the end where he's just like, oh my god, Clark is dead. It's like, no, you didn't need that. You should just have a shot of him looking up, all ominous, like, or like moving fast, or something like that. Having him say Clark like a fanboy just didn't make much sense. And the last one, which I thought was weird, was, actually, what was it? It was the Clark one. No, I think those were the only two. I think those were really the only two. The Clark one was the big one. I think that might have been it. There might have been one other one near the end scene. But I think overall there was some good levels. There was a great one I thought was really in character where he was like, holy shit, he is huge, he is tall. I thought that was alright. That was, I mean, for some people that's not Batman, but honestly I like that. I actually, because he's older, I get that, but there are times in this movie where he just makes too much jokes, and it's kind of annoying, because this one was pretty good with the jokes, Because, like I said, the characters that do the jokes were perfect and they made sense. But the characters that shouldn't have done the jokes, I don't know. That's why I feel like a Snyder Cut would come in and kind of change those around. And that kind of sucks because there's a lot of stuff from the trailers that aren't even in this film. And I feel like it wasn't long enough. It was like an hour and 50 minutes. It's good, but it needed, like, if this was Snyder, it would be 2.5 to 3 hours. And I really wanted more of it. It works. Justice League, this film as it is, works, right? But it definitely has something in there that needs more. It needs more time to kind of, like, get the juices flowing. And it did that sort of with, the Snyder Cuts have always done that. And I feel like I really hope Snyder gets his Snyder Cut out. Because this Justice League could very well be like Superman 2. You have two versions of Superman 2, and I think I can't remember the director, but the director who directed the first one, I think his version is the superior Superman 2, even though I like the original Superman 2 as well. So the idea is I think this could become a very, very similar thing like Superman 2, where it's like, the Snyder Cut would be the better one, but people will enjoy both. Because I do like this film, I actually like it more than the first Avengers film, although not by much. I think I like it more so because I grew up with Justice League. Because this film, it feels like a Justice League TV episode from, the Justice League Unlimited cartoon series. And that's fantastic, because that's one of my favourite series. And this feels like a live-action version of that. I love the Batman Wonder Woman scenes. Like, oh my god, they were so good. I grew up with, like I said, I grew up with Justice League. And yeah, they shipped them. Like, they work so well. And it's also great, like, because there's just times where Bruce Wayne is Bruce Wayne. And he's also Batman at the same time. Like that bit where he's like, oh, did you get that from Trevor, your dead boyfriend? And she just whacks him, and I was like, oh, you fucked up. And then, like, there's that scene where he's basically acting like a dickhead because he wants to he knows he can't be the leader. He wants Diana to be the leader. I was like, that's fucking awesome. Although, it didn't make sense why she changed, because I think there's a deleted scene. I haven't actually watched the deleted scene yet. I should. But there's, like, a deleted scene where it's like, she changed it for some reason. So I think it's also why I went on a Snyder Cut, because I feel like Snyder would be like, look, let's just get this relationship going even more. Plus, like, Alfred, he's fucking great. Like, Alfred in this is just like, oh, it looks like you've got a date. At least someone here has got a date. Because he's trying to get, throughout the movie, there's, like, hints that he's trying to get Bruce Wayne and Diana together. Because he just wants children to keep running around the manor and stuff. And he's like, it's so great. I love him. He's brilliant. And then, like, at the end, when they're there and they're, like, in the hall, like, let's fix this shit up. You look at him and he's just so happy. And I'm like, yes. That's like character development without, like, for a side character. Like, oh, I don't know. I love that. It's a really good film. I'd give it a go. But it depends. If you're a big Marvel film buff, you might not like this film. Why? Because it's not Marvel, or because it's just not your thing. That's fair enough. Fair enough. I like this film. Is it the greatest film ever? No. But is it a very good film? Hell yeah. The fight scene in this in the end is fantastic. The scene where Cyborg and Aquaman are fighting, and he's just like, right, ain't over yet, my man! And then he just, like, whacks and kills the Parademon, and he slides down and stuff. That's fucking awesome. The way Batman is so smart, where he's, like, on his Batmobile, and he's like, oh, there's a giant tower, blows up the tower, has a whole lot of people chasing behind him, and just squashes them. That's fucking awesome. The shirt in this is badass. That's why, but I want more, because there's totally more. Like, oh, this film is great. The only problems that I know some people have is, like, this is the weird part. So, Steppenwolf is actually an okay villain. You don't know every single little bit. All you know is he wants to become back there with the New Gods and his and Darkseid. He wants to be with Darkseid's side. Okay. And that he ruled planets and killed giant planets and stuff like that. Okay, that's all we know. That's his backstory so far. But it's not that bad, because, first up, he's not a bad villain because he actually does stuff. He literally gets off his ass. He isn't like Thanos, who's sitting in his chair and, like, I will bathe your blood, the Starways, with your blood. No. He actually gets off his ass and does something. He's like, instead of sending his parademons out or a Loki figure out, he's like, no, fuck it, I'll do it. He goes in there, he breaks up the people, he breaks their necks, he's like, tell me what you want. He fights the Justice League and kicks their ass and stuff. The only OP thing I think I had was, so that kind of reminds me of, there's two moments in this where Superman, look, he's OP'd, we get it, but sometimes I'm like, really? We're gonna have him this OP'd? So there's a scene where he's fighting all the Justice League, which was fucking awesome, by the way. And I love the headbutt scene with him and Diana. Bam! Bam! Fucking awesome. But there's a scene where Barry goes in slow motion, and, like, I get it that Clark and Superman can go fast, but he's like, I'm like, come on, Speed Force is far superior to him. Then again, you could explain it that Barry is just starting off with his powers, which is actually hinted at. So I'm kind of fine with that. But then there's the moments in the end where Steppenwolf kind of gets his ass fully kicked by Superman. I'm like, I don't know. Like, Superman's strong, but I feel like there's a bit, I don't know. I get it. Like, if you're a Superman fan, you want him to be OP'd, but for me, it's like, if he's OP'd, then why do we need the Justice League? And that's the thing. I feel like, although then again, once they bring Darkseid in, he might get his ass kicked again. So who knows? Who knows? They're just some minor gripes I have with the film, but overall, I love the film. I'm not gonna give it a score though, because people seem to hate me when I give scores, like the Last Jedi stuff. So I'm gonna give it a thumbs up. I'm gonna go the old thumbs up. It's a thumbs up film. It's a great film. It's one of my favorite superhero films. I think it will be better with a Snyder Cut, which does actually work. Case in point to the fuckwit who said, "Oh, deleted scenes can't make a film better." Obviously, because you're a fuckwit. But the reason that I say that is because look at the extended scenes in movies. In movies that have extended cuts. They're actually just deleted scenes added back into the film. And they're made better. Blade Runner extended cut, better. Lord of the Rings extended cut, better. Kingdom of Heaven, better. Alien Covenant, better. Alien, sorry, what was the other Alien? Was it Covenant? And then there was like 2 Alien films that had extended cuts and they're better. So like I said, it works. Batman v Superman extended cut, better. Because I had deleted scenes put back into the main film. So, like I said, that actually works. I think Suicide Squad was slightly better because of the deleted scene with the Joker in it. Which, hey, at least it's more Joker. So, yes, deleted scenes can make a film better when they're put back in. Which I hope they do. Because, oh man, because there was like a few scenes they released with like Superman talking to Alfred and Superman going back to his ship. And I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Put that back in the film. But hey. Yeah, that's just a giant rant that, people will go on and stuff like that. But yeah, overall, Justice League is great. It looks fantastic in 4K. And to be truthful, this being my first 4K DVD and Blu-ray and stuff, I loved it. Like, the only downside is it's not long enough. I want it to be longer and I want the Snyder Cut. Because I like Snyder as a director and stuff like that. But anyway, I'm going to ramble on and I shouldn't be rambling on. So, Aussie Viking out. Sin Valhalla, I give it 2 thumbs up. Go and see it. Even if you're a Marvel fan, you might like it or not. Anyway, Aussie Viking out. Sin Valhalla. Bye.